Am I live? No way. Am I live? Wait, tell me if I'm live. I can't tell if I'm live. And I don't have a chat up right now either, so I can't tell. Okay, we're getting people. Let's go! Let's go! We're live! So as we all know, here, wait, let me type in, so I guess, okay, so this was the Knicks, oh shoot, my bad. Obi Toppin, let's go. I'm so hyped about Obi Toppin. Because the Knicks, they could have also taken Denny. Don't get me wrong. They could have taken Denny. But look at that man right there. I don't know if you guys can see him, but Obi Toppin. Well, I'm shocked. Like, okay. For those of you guys out there, like, I have a question. I have a big question. What's Obi Toppin going to be like in the NBA? What's Obi Toppin going to be like in the NBA? Is he going to be like a, is he going to play with Mitch? That's what I'm confused upon, because I think that's how Tom Thibodeau sees it. But I don't know if that's how how I would see it. I think this selection of Obi Toppin could have some deeper meaning for Mitch's future. Because they basically selected a power forward who's very similar to Mitch. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I love Obi Toppin. I think the fact that we got him at 8 is a steal, especially due to the fact that we were trying to move up for him. And I love the trade with the Jazz this morning, where we moved up to the 23rd pick. I thought that was an incredible trade, especially because we already have so many young guys that we probably should try and get playing time for. Like, it really isn't too important to get a guy with the 37th overall pick who probably won't get much playing time, rather than like moving up a couple slots and getting some like great talent if they fall. So that's what I'd have to say about it. But I had highlights up. I don't know where it went. But, I mean, other than that, like, Obi's high-flying ability and pick and roll, like, his game is the future of the NBA. His game is basically what, like, the NBA is. And that's the crazy part. Obi is the future of the NBA, and that's like one of the major reasons why I love this pick. Like, the NBA, I mean, it's basically a layup, dunk, and three-pointers league, and Obi like specializes in layups, dunks, and three-pointers. I mean, the one downside I'd say about it, Obi, is he's 22 years old and he's a sophomore, but he can like rebound at a very good rate. He can block shots. And he makes threes at a very effective rate. This season, he averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists on 63% from the field. And he averaged 39% from three-point range. Like, Obi's legit, and I'm so glad he's a Knick. Tell me what you guys think about Obi down below, but hey, it's Amare. Bro, he could be the next Amari. I don't want to get that far ahead of ourselves, but I mean, this pick right here also, with the new management and everything, I think it could be the management also being like, hey, I want to prove that our drafting isn't terrible. We should go for the safe guy. Cole Anthony or Tyrese Maxey, facts. Bro, I think we're in a possibility with our cash available on hand, with with our 23rd pick, I think we may be able to move up again in the draft if Kira Lewis Jr. is still available. Which, wait, shoot, I wasn't paying attention. Did Kira Lewis Jr. get selected? I have no clue. But if Kira Lewis Jr. is still available, if Tyrese Maxey is still available, like, there are so many like great opportunities for all of us right here. There's so many great opportunities. It gets really crazy. And I'd also say one thing here too about the whole like Obi Toppin selection is I can almost guarantee it that Leon Rose is preparing for some sort of trade, some sort of thing to get Mitch unloaded. That's what I'm thinking. And I mean, I hate to see it, but at the end of the day, like, I love Mitchell Robinson. He's my second favorite player on the Knicks, and I don't know how I feel about him getting traded. I want to see him perform this season, and I want him to like show to the front office like, yo, don't trade me, because I don't think they're willing to pay him upwards of like $11 million per year, which is probably what he's gonna have to get paid, which he deserves. He deserves every single cent of it, and the Knicks would be cheap to do that. But it's just a matter of how much value he has on the market versus how much the Knicks value him. But if the Knicks were to trade Mitchell Robinson, it would obviously be in a big package for a superstar, which Leon Rose is like almost guaranteed to do. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'd be cool with it, but I wouldn't. But I mean, like, I'd be upset about it too at the same time because I love Mitch and all that. But Obi Toppin, my NBA comparison for Obi Toppin, I mean, I think this is pretty obvious, but it's John Wall. John Wall would be my NBA comparison for Obi Toppin, and just due to the fact that Obi Toppin, hear me out. Obi Toppin. Wait, did I say John Wall or John Collins? I've been talking so much. I'm sorry. I meant John Collins if I said John Wall. I meant John Collins. Because, I mean, they're both power forwards. And they can shoot. They're kind of like the new age of the NBA. Obi Toppin doesn't have the quite same off the dribble ability, but John Collins at the same time doesn't have the same post game. And I mean, Obi Toppin is technically older than John Collins, which probably scared away a lot of people, like the Bulls, who probably could have used Obi Toppin if we're being honest, but went with Patrick Williams for kind of like the young project type player. But the interesting thing about this part of the draft is, like, I really wish the Knicks had some ammo to trade back up here, because there's still a lot of talent available. Like, trading up to 23, especially like before the draft, was a great move by the Knicks in my opinion. And the reason I think it's like one of the, like, probably maybe even a better move than picking Obi Toppin is because now teams are starting to realize, oh shoot, my guy's falling. This guy I really like is beginning to fall a lot. And this is going to be huge for just like the future of everything. Or the future of the draft. Because at pick 15, we could very easily see Cole Anthony, Kira Lewis Jr., Tyrese Maxey, Tyrell Terry, and a couple more prospects still on the board. Which if the Knicks really just want to like give up the $5 million in cash, which, I mean, a lot of teams are going to want because of the whole pandemic, I think they could get their hands on one of them. So they could walk away with two players that they see, or that they saw as targets for the 8th overall pick, which would probably be the best case scenario coming out of the draft. And also, the main reason why I want the Knicks to get a point guard now is because I don't see free agency or a trade being a viable way for us to get a point guard. That's what I'd say. Like, I don't think it's the best think the best way for us to get a point guard. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, some of my words don't make sense sometimes, and I've been like talking so much more than I have before, and like I really don't like have any like notes or anything in front of me. I'm basically just going off the dome. So yeah, but one thing that I think we should all keep your minds on is wait a second. Oh my gosh! I completely missed it. The Suns selected Jalen Smith. Oh my gosh, I thought that was the Knicks. That'd be a great target for the Knicks at 23, but they got Obi Toppin already. So, like, the thing about Obi Toppin is, Obi Toppin's a player that I could see with the Knicks for 6+ years, and that's exactly what we need out of this draft. We got RJ Barrett, who's a solid foundational piece, and now we need another player like, kind of like RJ Barrett, who we can build around. Because the thing about the Knicks is, we've never had a true rebuild. We've had a lot of retools. We've had a lot of different like trades that we've had. We've had like the Mari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony. We traded for Andre Bargnani one year. Like, we've never had a true rebuild. And I mean, as we saw with Chris Paul, like, people want to go to New York. I mean, if the fans are there, everything's there, and they have a solid core, these superstars will want to come to New York. So that's what like makes this Obi Toppin pick like kind of so great, and especially with Leon Rose, who's trying to persuade free agents, kind of get that. Probably in the end, his end goal would probably be getting like trading for a superstar while being able to sign a superstar, kind of like the Kawhi Paul George situation. So, I mean, this selection fits that perfectly. We get Obi Toppin for 5 years. He's going to be on a rookie contract in the prime of his career. That's also something to keep your eye on. He's going to be in the like best health he's ever been in his career. And he's going to be on his rookie contract. And then the 4-year rookie extension. So if he turns out and pans out to be kind of like a John Collins type player, maybe a bit better, maybe he could be a bit worse, but I mean, a lot's going to kind of be determined by his perimeter defense, and if he's going to end up taking over the center position, which I personally see him best at long term, which is a bit confusing with the Knicks having Mitchell Robinson. But if they have a different plan for him, or are going to go like Twin Towers type stuff, I'm okay with it, but he is going to struggle guarding the perimeter. He may be better off at center, but I mean, hey, it's whatever. And then the Spurs took Devin Vassell. That's a great pick. Devin Vassell is another Knicks target, man. But the Pelicans are looking to trade pick number 13. And one team that could look to trade up to 13. I think this would be a bit much for the Knicks. And I don't know how much the Knicks or the Pelicans would value like Frank or DSJ. But if the Knicks could move up to 13, 23 to 13 by giving up Frank or DSJ, I'd pull the trigger immediately. But what are some Knicks? What are some Knicks trades that you guys think like could go down? What are some Knicks trades that you guys are thinking about? Personally, I would love to see the Knicks try and trade up with I would love to see the Knicks try and trade up with the Pelicans here. I would love to see that. I'd absolutely love to see that. Especially if we could get our hands on Tyrese Maxey, who already has that connection with Kenny Payne. I feel like with Kenny Payne with the Knicks, his connection with Tyrese Maxey, and more importantly, just kind of like the Kentucky vibes that the Knicks have. Like, they're low-key becoming like the Kentucky farm, which I am 100% okay with. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm 100% okay with the Knicks becoming the Kentucky farm. But I mean, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how the rest of this draft plays out. I'm just planning on staying live probably until the Knicks pick at 23, and then if the Knicks will probably make some move with cash, 100%. Scott Perry is probably pretty upset right now that he hasn't been able to get his. He had to give up his second round pick, but I mean, at the end of the day, the trade was good. We don't really need much more depth at the moment right now, because we still need to develop Kevin, see if he can be a potential long-term candidate. We've got Ignaz, who deserves minutes. He's been playing incredible in the G League. He really deserves a spot in the NBA. Then DSJ or Frank. I really want to see one of them traded during the draft. I know, don't get me wrong, I love Frank. He's the GOAT, but like he we're probably gonna have to pay him a bit. I don't know if we're willing to pay him that much, especially with like us kind of like figuring out that our biggest need is at point guard, and he hasn't fit that need. And kind of like, I don't know what the new regime's gonna look at him like, but it's gonna be interesting to see if the Knicks can get their hands on like Kira Lewis Jr. or Tyrese Maxey. I still love Tyrell Terry. Tyrell Terry is one of the biggest sleepers in the draft. We'll see if he is a sleeper though, because like, you know, but it looks like. Okay, wait. Comment it. Wait, let me go to the chat. Comment. Okay. Let me go to the chat. Oh, shoot. I don't know how to pull the chat up. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. But, I mean, all in all, like, Knicks are in a good position in this draft. Hope the Pelicans don't take. Hope the Pelicans don't take Tyrell Terry, Kira Lewis Jr., and Tyrese Maxey. I would be extremely surprised if they fall to 23. But if they even fall to like 18 or 19, I feel like the Knicks could really snag one of them up. Like, we saw Denny Avdija fall to 9, and that was a big shocker for me. I think that's why the Knicks pick took so long to turn in, because I feel like there was some like, will we take FD over Toppin? I don't know, but I mean, they got their guy though. They were looking to trade up for Toppin, so this is a successful draft in my opinion. But the Pelicans just took Kira Lewis Jr. Okay, let me reload that. So that's one of our that's one of our guys off the list. So I wouldn't be upset with Cole Anthony here either. I wouldn't be upset if we take a shot on Cole Anthony at 23. And the sad thing is, I think he might last until 23. I think he could last till 23. Because a lot of the teams who need point guards, especially kind of in the late playoffs, I don't know if they're going to be going after someone like Young in the draft rather than trying to trade or sign for Van Vliet and doing all that stuff. Like, if I'm the Magic and I'm kind of in the playoffs and I could really use a point guard, I mean, obviously, I think they should draft a point guard. There's no question about that. But, like, Russell Westbrook is on the market and everything, so the Magic, I'd say, are an exception. But there's some other teams who need a point guard in the draft, and I mean, like the Jazz, for example, they could use it. I mean, shoot, they're at 27 now. Like, the 76ers, they could use a point guard. Like, an actual point guard, not a Ben Simmons point guard. And, I mean, they may be better off just trying to trade for someone. Or even sign Fred VanVleet in free agency after they just got off Al Horford's contract. There are a lot of things at play here. And here, I'm going to pull up the draft list right now. Here, let me pull this up. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen here. Okay. I'm going to pull the full draft list up on the screen here. Let me see if I can. Okay, there. Just see how that looks. That should look good. But got the Pelicans just lucked. So now we got Boston's up. Boston could be in the market, but I mean, they got Carson Edwards. I don't think they need a backup point guard, if we're being honest. So I'm surprised they haven't traded any of their picks yet. That is what's really shocking me. I don't understand how they haven't done that yet. And I would call them a loser in the draft because they haven't traded their picks. Because they had 3 first-round picks, and they already have, like, a solid foundation. I don't think they're really looking for more players. I don't understand Boston keeping all their picks, but, I mean, I'm not a Celtics fan, so I don't know exactly the reason why. But the Magic are definitely in the picture for a point guard or in need for a point guard. The Pistons are. I want to say the Timberwolves are. Mavericks, they're in the mixture for a guard. Nets, are not. I mean, they have Kendrick Nunn and they have Goran Dragic, but Goran Dragic's a free agent. So there are actually quite a few teams ahead of us that need a point guard. There are actually quite a few teams ahead of us who need a point guard. Maybe trading up to 23. It's 100% for a shooter, though. No doubt in my mind that it's for a shooter or a point guard. But, I mean, if we're drafting a point guard, he better be able to shoot. So, I mean, top guys are kind of off the board. Look at this. We got... Man, I really hope the Knicks pull the trigger to get Tyrese Maxey. I feel like Tyrese Maxey to the Celtics would be a great pick, though. Tyrese Maxey to the Celtics would be a great pick. But, bro, I'm still surprised by the Patrick Williams pick. That pick shocked me. I was shocked. But, like, I really didn't understand it, but I was also very happy about it because it meant that one of Obi Toppin, Denny Avdia, or Killian Hayes were probably going to fall to us because I saw the Hawks I definitely saw the Hawks or the Cavs picking like Onyeka or Okoro. I saw the other way around though. I didn't think that the Cavs were gonna take Okoro, which is weird because I think they're going win now mode, but that's otherwise whatever. I mean, that's good for the Knicks because if they're going win now mode, that just means a higher draft pick for us next year and the even better draft. But I don't know about you guys, but this draft was so weird. This draft, like, it doesn't feel like the NBA draft. I think that's because, like, the lockdown and everything, but just what are your guys' thoughts on the draft here? Let me pull up everything. What do you guys have to say about the NBA draft? What have your big takeaways been? Oh, should the Celtics take Aaron Nesmith? Orlando's taking Cole Anthony. No way. You know what's... Bro. Okay. You know what? Instead of having this up, do you think we should just have the, I wonder if we should just have the whatever. Okay, wait. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. Wow, I haven't even been on. The only social media I've been on is Twitter, so I haven't even seen everyone's reactions. But the Hornets, yeah, that's the big thing. I briefed on this earlier, but the Hornets may be out of the Russell Westbrook trade market, which I think is terrible. If you guys know me, like, I really don't want to trade for a superstar or go through any of that. But there are a lot of people that think trading for Russell Westbrook is a good idea. I don't understand those people. Please, if one of you guys are watching and think trading for Russell Westbrook is a good idea, please comment down below why, and because I'm genuinely curious why the Knicks would have any interest in him other than competing for an 8 seed to make Tom Thibodeau look good. Like, I don't understand that. It creates no sustaining success or anything, which is, like, the last thing the Knicks need. Especially, like, Russell Westbrook and RJ's games do not complement each other, like, at all. And it's just, it's mind-boggling. Like, I've wanted to make a video on Russell Westbrook and, like, how he's so bad for so long, or like why the Knicks trade for him would be so bad, but I haven't because we don't promote negativity out here. Oh, the pick is in for the Magic. I'm pretty sure it's Cole Anthony. I'm pretty sure it's Cole Anthony. I think I saw it on Woj's Twitter. I really hope I didn't spoil that for anyone. I hope everyone watching isn't a huge Cole Anthony fan. Or huge Magic fan. I hope not. But, I mean, that's a decent pick. I would love for him if he fell to 23 for the Knicks, but it's all good. But one player to keep your eye on for the Knicks. Actually, I don't know. Aleksej Pokusevski. He's gonna take a long time to kind of develop and everything. He's like a 3-4 year project. However, he's a 7-footer who can shoot, pass, and dribble the ball at a very high level. I mean, at 23, I'd be kind of curious to see what's going on with Mitch and everything. And, I mean, that's the only downside about the Obi selection is I don't know what Mitch's future with the team is, sadly. And, like, it's something that we really need to, like, keep our eye on. But, I mean, Aleksej Pokusevski, there are questions about his strength since he's, like, has a super weak frame. His work ethic is very questionable. There have been multiple reports coming out that says he's, like, not the most motivated person. And that's concerning, especially if the Knicks want to take him and then have him be a project. However, I mean, work ethic and all that, but also when we have Tom Thibodeau as our coach and Kenny Payne, who's an incredible developmental coach, especially for big men. I feel like his developmental set with, like, he helped Devin Booker with the shooting. He's a big influence on Cat. Willie Cauley-Stein was in love with him at Kentucky, so I feel like he can work with anyone. So I would like to see how our developmental staff would do it with Aleksej Pokusevski and kind of have that as like a test. I don't know. Do you guys agree with me or no? Am I kind of going crazy? But RJ Hampton, I think he's 100% gone before. I think he's 100% gone before us at 23. Same with Tyrese Maxey. I would love if the Knicks trade up for Tyrese Maxey. I would absolutely love if the Knicks trade up for Tyrese Maxey. And honestly, the price probably isn't too high right now. There are a lot of teams. Let's go back to the team list. Because DSJ, let's keep in mind, this dude has like the value of about a 2nd round pick. And I mean, a 2nd round pick got us up, what was it, 4 spots? So I could see like a package of this DSJ and cash getting us up into the like maybe to the Heat. Maybe to 20 with the Heat. But they don't really need DSJ though. I mean, the Timberwolves have had a lot of interest in DSJ. And I think they could be a possible suitor for Frank. I know the like Knicks community is torn between Frank. But personally at this point, like, I'm not ready to pay him a extension. Wait, why is Spike Lee on this? Oh, it's Cole Anthony. Oh, good for him. Good for Cole. New York native. Man, Cole Anthony is a really cool dude, though. He's from New York. He grew up a Knicks fan. He knows what's up. But this is going to be our golden range. If Tyrese Maxey lasts past these 3 teams, the Pistons selecting him, the Pistons would maybe have the best draft if they are able to get Tyrese Maxey at 16. But this is our golden range. I would really like to see a trade up with Minnesota, including, comment down below, DSJ or Frank. DSJ or Frank. Personally, I would give up DSJ if we can move up there. But even if we package together, like, we have some, like, a 2022 Hornets 2nd round pick that I wouldn't mind packaging, like, that DSJ in our 23rd to 17th to select Tyrese Maxey. I know that may be, like, a bit much, but I think that'd be a perfect trade package. I really would. But okay, so the Pistons are on the clock. I think the Pistons traded up for Tyrese Maxey because the Portland had this pick, but on the list said the Pistons have the pick. I'm reloading this. Man, the Pistons really... Don't tell me they traded up. Please tell me they traded up for someone else. If they trade up for Tyrese Maxey, I love the Pistons draft. I'm checking Woj right now. Oh my gosh! Number 6... Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Wow, that's insane. The Detroit Pistons are taking Isaiah Stewart with the number 16 overall pick. If you guys are wondering how I know this so early, it's because if you go on Woj's Twitter, then he like tweets everything, but they're taking Isaiah Stewart with the 16th overall pick. Wow, I thought there was a rumor that came out that said the Knicks moved up to 23 to try and jump some team to like take Isaiah Stewart. I did not know the value for Isaiah Stewart was that high. He's like, and the thing about Isaiah Stewart is, I mean, he was a top high school prospect coming out, and he was like a good college player. And he really didn't do anything too great in college that I would say makes him the 16th overall pick. I mean, if Detroit's got something up their sleeve, then I get it. But yikes, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel about that. Wow. Hey, on the bright side, though, that still leaves Tyrese Maxey on the table. Tyrese Maxey is the guy that I think we need to circle. I'm surprised he's dropped past 16. I think he's going to be going anytime. So, like, I feel like people are focusing too much on how he played it during the season. Like, we also got to realize, I'm not saying by any means that he's going to be like Tyler Hero. However, Tyler Hero had terrible games in college too. He was very inconsistent. He had like 2 points and went like 1 for 7 in a game in the NCAA tournament. Like, these college players have their streaky days, and yeah, many of them are busts and like obviously, but like there are a lot of players at Kentucky. They're almost like prepared for the NBA. They're prepared for the NBA. And I mean, if the Knicks don't go after Tyrese Maxey, I think trading with the Timberwolves would be the ideal scenario. Especially since they need a point guard. But man, that's who I got my eye on right now. If not Tyrese Maxey, I'd say Tyrell Terry. But I don't see Tyrell Terry getting past 21 with the 76ers. So we'd probably have to jump up to 20 with the Heat. And maybe give the Heat like a pick in. Actually, I don't want to give them a pick for moving up there. We might have to. No, we're definitely going to have to give them a pick. But man, this has been a crazy draft night. Jalen Smith, 10th overall. Was that to the Phoenix Suns? Was Jalen Smith drafted to the Suns? That's the ultimate Suns pick. I feel like he'll be a great fit next to Chris Paul, but I mean the Suns picked Cam Johnson last year, like, and they traded up a lot of spots for him too. I just love that. Oh, Woj tweeted something earlier about the Knicks be available, but it appears he could make it past the Knicks to them. He's been high on Wizard. Okay, Woj tweeted, few had experience that Denny Avdia would be available for Washington at number 9, but it appears he could make it past the Knicks to them. Okay. Tyrese Halliburton to the Kings. I mean, I don't like that pick. The Kings needed to swing for the fences. I don't think taking Tyrese Halliburton is swinging for the fences in this draft. So, like, I think the other Tyrese would be a much better player. Oh my gosh, the Timberwolves selected Alex Pokusevski. I'm cool with that pick. I really like that pick. I mean, Timberwolves don't really have a power forward, and he's going to be a project, but I mean, they still got Cat and D'Lo under contract, so they're vibing. But I wouldn't say that's a good thing for the Knicks, because I mean, if we're talking from the Knicks perspective, we need every single team in the West to be good so we can get Dallas's pick, or that we can get Dallas's pick higher. And at the moment, I think Anthony Edwards will be able to make a bit more of an instant impact than everyone else thinks he will be able to, because I mean, he's got an NBA ready body. I don't think he's injury prone at all. His shooting abilities have been questionable, but I mean, he had a good shooting workout on the ESPN show. He performed really well there when he did that thing with Tyrese Maxey, almost like a pro day. So I have a lot of confidence for Anthony Edwards in the draft, but I don't know about Alex Pokusevski if he's gonna make an impact immediately. He's definitely gonna take a couple years or so. But the Dallas Mavericks are on the clock. Oh my gosh. The Nets just made a trade. Oh my god, the Nets just traded for Landry Shamet. You're kidding me. Wow. The Clippers traded Landry Shamet to the Nets for number 19 overall. So pick 19 is going to the Clippers? Oh no, the Clippers are going to pick a good player here too, because it's Jerry West. Oh wait, that Minnesota pick was going to OKC. Oh, so OKC selected Alex Pokusevski. Wow, that's a great pick. Especially for Oklahoma City, who's in a rebuild stage. They got one of the biggest projects in the draft, when they're literally tanking, which is exactly what they needed to do. So I find that a great pick. It's a really good pick. And they get off Ricky Rubio's contract. Oh, but Ricky Rubio was sent back to the Timberwolves. The Mavericks got a terrible pick. The Mavericks picked Josh Green, who he was a good high school prospect. But I mean, in the NBA, he's a good defensive guy. He's a good defensive guy, but oh my gosh. I'm really actually happy with that pick by the Mavs from a Knicks perspective. Because I don't think Josh Green has the offensive capabilities to make an impact early. I don't think he will necessarily need to. And I mean, he's an athletic guard and a good defender. I don't believe in his shooting abilities either. And that is something that he will need to be able to do playing next to Luka Doncic. So I'm actually happy with that pick for the Mavs. And it shows that they're not really going win now. I'm surprised that they didn't take RJ Hampton though. I thought RJ Hampton was not falling past here. And okay, before this, the Clippers are getting Luke Kennard, the Nets are getting Landry Shamet, and the Detroit Pistons are getting the 19th overall pick. So they're getting back into the first round, and I think this is an area where we 100%, actually I'm not going to say 100%, but man, Tyrese Maxey's looking nice up there. Tyrese Maxey's looking good up there. Man, I really hope the Knicks take him. I really hope the Knicks take him. Wow. Oh shoot, I zoned out. What the heck? Okay, so if the Clippers get... Man, that's disappointing. I'm really sad to see that the Nets got Landry Shamet. He's a good player. He's a really good player. I love how the Clippers traded Landry Shamet for Luke Kennard, which is just like a meaningless trade in my opinion. I mean, Luke Kennard can facilitate more, but his shot's kind of wonky. He's got potential though. He's got a lot of potential. He played pretty well for Detroit when he was healthy. I really liked how the Pistons got right back into the draft. And I mean, if we're being real, the Pistons are having one of the best drafts. Actually, they got Isaiah Stewart. I want to say that. I keep thinking that they already drafted a really good player at 16, but they drafted Isaiah Stewart. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but he's nothing crazy. He's nothing crazy. Okay. Okay, the pick is in. The pick is in. Detroit, they have decided. I don't like this pick. Actually, you know what? I kind of like it. Detroit selects Sadiq Bey at number 19. I really like Sadiq Bey. But from them at 19, from the Pistons alone, I think the Pistons are in more of a win now mode than they think they are actually in. Like, Detroit, they have so many holes on their team. I think they're just trying to almost fill those holes before they're trying to, like, do anything. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like they're not drafting the best player available. Like, Sadiq Bey, he's going to be a good player. Probably nothing great. Probably, like, close to, like, another, like, if I were to give an NBA comparison, I'd say, like, kind of like Eric Pascal. He can, like, shoot and play defense a bit. doesn't really have an elite NBA skill. There's like question marks about almost everything in his game. Minor question marks, but there's still question marks. And in the NBA, like, you kind of need an elite skill to like kind of stand out from the rest, whether it's athleticism, shooting, all that. And Sadiq Bey really doesn't have it, in my opinion. So I'm going to be curious how he pans out. And honestly, if I'm the Pistons, I'm shooting for the fences. I'm taking Maxey. I'm taking Maxey at 19 instead of taking Sadiq Bey. Once again, though, it looks like Tyrese Maxey's falling in the draft. I wonder if there's a reason behind this. I wonder if there's a reason. Like, man, if the Knicks can trade up in the draft and get Maxey, man. Oh. Okay, wait. First, we need to scout out the competition ahead of us. Or even it, bro, okay. We have 20, 21, and 22. We have 3 picks. Our 2 targets right now, Tyrell Terry and Tyrese Maxey. I mean, I know a lot of people are high on Desmond Bane and some of the lower, or not lower tier, but some of the shooters who are kind of like lower on draft boards. But at the same time, man, if we, like, I know we need more shooting. But with 3 picks left, I think, I'm not going to say 100%. I'm going to say there's a decent chance, I'd probably call it 50-50, that Tyrese Maxey and Tyrell Terry are still on the board. In that situation, I'm taking Tyrese Maxey, and then I'm buying a second round pick, hopefully early, kind of like late 30s, and getting Desmond Bane if he's still available. Probably not. Or I'm trading DSJ. We have DSJ and Frank still, like, who haven't been traded. They're going to get no minutes next season. Especially if we get a point guard here in Tyrell Terry. Or even Tyrese Maxey is going to eat into their minutes. I don't understand why one of them haven't been traded yet. Like, that's the most, like, mind-boggling thing to me. Of everything I've seen in the draft. Man, I think the Pistons could use their picks so much better, though. Really do. I don't see how drafting a center at 16, he's like a good defender. He has good work ethic, but I would be happy if I was a Pistons fan, because they got whatever, my guy. Why am I blanking on his name? Killian Hayes. Okay, Woj hasn't had any updates. Looks like we're back to regular time. The Heat are on the clock, though. The Heat are on the clock. 2 minutes left. I mean, there was a rumor that came out that said Bradley Beal will go to the Heat. And honestly, at that point, I'm really happy about that, if that is true. If that's true. Because Jimmy Butler, I think, was talking to some NFL player, maybe? And he was like, big things are coming to, or just talk to Jimmy Butler, and big things are coming. And then he he tweeted after that, like, you ready, Bradley Beal, or whatever. So I don't know if that's true. Maybe I think they'd have to give up Tyler Hero if they do a deal like that, which I don't think is in their best interest. Man, we You guys saw me though. I'm on Twitter right now, just like refreshing. Because I mean, I still care about the live stream, but like, or not the live stream, the draft, but I'd rather just say the pick immediately. Okay, I'm back. Okay, Miami selected Precious Achiuwa. Or Chua. Oh, this is big. Our Tyrese Maxey dreams are still alive. And I don't even think we're going to have to trade up. If we can get Tyrese or Tyrell are top, or in my opinion, my top two targets for the Knicks. Tyrese is so Tyrese Maxey, I don't know how he's fallen this much. And Tyrell Terry, man, love the dude. Great player. Great player. And this is going to be mad interesting, though. It's going to get very interesting now. We've moved into the territory with the 76ers, the Nuggets, and then the Knicks. I'm just amazed that the Knicks are able to pull off this trade. If I'm being honest, the trade with Jazz, in my opinion, was almost like an incredible way to see into the future. Because it's pretty low risk. You're just giving up your 37th pick. But if the Knicks win it, we're at 27 and win it to get up to the Jazz now, they definitely have to give up more. They probably have to throw in Frank or DSJ, which I think the Knicks need to trade immediately. I don't know why the Knicks haven't made any draft day trades between them. I'm wondering if they're focusing on their selection now. They should probably have that under control, though. Or if they're going after, like, say, I wonder if they're going after a bigger dog. If they're trying to trade for a veteran point guard or something, because oh my god, the Pistons just made a trade? Wait, what? I just saw the Pistons are trading Houston something. Woj, help me out. Nothing. Is top 16 perfected for the next top 10 protected? I'm confused. How'd the Rockets get into this? Oh, for the 6th, when they traded their pick? Okay. I'm just mad confused on what's going on. Bro, the Rockets are rebuilding. Oh my gosh, the Rockets are a mess. I wish the Knicks made some deals with the Rockets before they became a mess. That'd be amazing right now. I mean, I think I did propose or project a trade or something. But okay, getting in crunch time, baby. 21-22. 21 and 22. Okay. looking here, I'm surprised. Like, I'm keep saying it. Tyrese Maxey is too good to be here. Jaden McDaniels is an interesting fall. I'm very surprised Jaden McDaniels has fell this far. I really thought he was gonna be a surprise pick by like the Suns at 10. I'm kind of happy that people are realizing that his like height and like smooth stroke and highlights don't mean everything. Because if you only saw his highlights, you would think he's going to be the next Kevin Durant. But I mean, like when you get technical fouls in college and you get a lot of them, that's not a good sign. Because technical fouls are very rare in college, and for some reason, people are much better behaved, or like they aren't yelling at the refs as much. From what I've seen, I could be wrong, but I think he had 5 technical fouls, maybe more. I think a few more, but that's not something you'd like to see from these prospects. But man, am I... Oh shoot, wrong one. No! Oh, Philadelphia selected Tyrese Maxey. Philadelphia selected Tyrese Maxey. Man, oh man, that's disappointing. It's very disappointing. And it's Philadelphia, too. Please say, like, trade with the Knicks. Pending trade with the Knicks. Please. That's a really good pick. I love that pick. And of course the 76ers get it. I swear, if Tyrese Maxey becomes a star in this league, I'm going to be so upset. He's a high risk, but a high risk at 21? A high risk, not even in like the late lottery, bruh. That's crazy. It's crazy in my eyes. He has so much talent. I mean, I'm not too high on the 76ers developmental staff. I mean, they got Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, but I would give them a bit of the blame for the reason why Ben Simmons doesn't have a jump shot. Because if you're going to develop a guy like that, you at least got to work on his jump shot. Like the same way I blamed whatever that guy's name is. I can't even remember him. Oh my god, the guy who messed up DSJ's jump shot. It was Kenny something. Oh shoot, you guys gotta help me out in the comments. Who messed up his jump shot? Who messed up DSJ's jump shot? One of you guys gotta know. He got fired with... Oh my gosh. I want to say Steve Stout, but it's not Steve Stout. It's Kenny. It was the guy from Indiana. Why am I blanking on this? I have no clue. The guy from Indiana, though, wow. Dude's crazy. But, oh no, I don't want to go there. Okay. We are one pick away from the Knicks pick, though. This is actually getting intense. This is crunch time. This is crunch time. I'm really upset after that Tyrese Maxey, because that was my guy, and I'm disappointed to see that. He's got so much. Oh wait, what? Oh my gosh. I'm reading a rumor from 2 hours ago that said the Warriors and Knicks have discussed a trade that send the second overall pick to New York. Oh man, if that happened. Bro, the Warriors were asking for way too much, especially only for James Wiseman. I don't understand that. But that's for a different time. We got to focus on the selection. Because if right now my eyes are on Tyrell Terry. Comment down below who you guys want. If you guys are here, if you guys are here and are able to like comment or whatever, comment down below who you guys think that the Knicks should select with 23. I got my eyes on Tyrell Terry. I think he'd be the perfect fit for this Knicks team. If you guys aren't familiar with Tyrell Terry, he's like a 6'3", he's really frail. He's like 165, maybe got heavier in the offseason, but he's going to need to gain a lot of muscle. But he's a 6'3", like 165 sharpshooter out of Stanford who is a pretty good facilitator. He's not like an incredible facilitator, but he's a pretty good facilitator. I mean, he shoots lights out. He's an insane three-point shooter. Like, he can light up everywhere off the floor. He struggles, or he doesn't struggle, but he's not as dominant from mid-range. But okay. Yo, what's good, Michelle? What's good? We got the Knicks pick up very soon. I'm super excited. But man, this has been dope. Okay, I finally have the chat up. Oh, shoot, I miss Aiden. My bad. Jorge, let's go. Got everyone in here. Okay, this is big, man. This is big. I'm gonna go in Woj right now. I'm gonna update Woj. See if the Nuggets have made their pick. See if the Nuggets still haven't made their pick. Woj is slacking. Not gonna lie. From what I've seen from this draft, Shams has been very fast. Sometimes faster than Woj. And that concerns me. Because I'm a big Woj guy, so having Shams that quick. But okay, the Knicks are up next. Getting a bit anxious, but talking about it makes me less anxious. So we really do need a point guard here, though. I'm going to be kind of upset if we don't walk away with a point guard. I do think if Desmond Bane isn't selected by the Nuggets, he'd be a great pick. RJ Hampton, I'd be okay with the pick. I wouldn't be hyped about the pick, but he does have a lot of talent and came out like last year as one of the top talents in the entire high school class. It's only been 1 year since then. And I mean, his jump shot's going to need some work, so I don't think the Knicks should take another point guard who can't shoot. And they really do need shooting on this team. I feel like they can get some of that in free agency, though, with Joe Harris and a couple other people. But I don't think they should kind of go for that long term, you know? So that's why I think Tyrell Terry, because he adds shooting and he adds a huge need. And, in my opinion, he's one of the most underrated players in the entire draft. I have him. Where's my... I can't show my big board, but... I have him as the 14th overall prospect on my big board. 14. And that's pretty big, especially for someone who's fallen down here. Okay, Denver took Zeke Nnaji. Zeke Nnaji? I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. I'll take it. Denver taking a cheeky Zeke Nnaji. Take that. Now, come to the next pick. We've got RJ Hampton. Does it show us? No, it doesn't. Okay, it's all good. RJ Hampton, Tyrell Terry. Let's look at some other possible options. We need to look at some other possible options before this. Because I want Tyrell Terry so bad. That's the guy. I wouldn't be upset with Tyler Bay. I mean, we kind of did just get a forward. And I feel like he could play 1-4, but I don't even know if Tyler Bay's still on the board. If he is, that wouldn't be a bad selection. Other than that, I don't know. I swear, if we reach for a guy like Nico Mannion, I probably will answer immediately. RJ Hampton's my next guy on the board after Tyrell Terry. Outside of these two guys, and then Desmond Bane, I'd be cool with that. I feel like I want the Knicks to take Tyrell Terry. That's who I really want the Knicks to take. However, if the Knicks don't take him and for some reason are idiots, I have faith in Scott Perry though. I feel like this pick is a bit of Scott Perry's pick, especially since it's so like late and this draft class is kind of weak that you kind of have to look for gems here. Like Tom Thibodeau and whatever his name is, Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rose got their player already with the first Knicks pick. They got Obi Toppin. They had their eyes on Obi Toppin the entire time. And now I feel like this is Scott Perry's time to shine and find a hidden gem. And I think Tyrell Terry is just that. Like I have a lot of faith in Tyrell Terry, and I think that's the player that the Knicks should be taking, if I were to have to give my opinion. Next, after Tyrell Terry, if for some reason the Knicks aren't major fans of Tyrell Terry, which I would be shocked if they aren't, but if for some reason they aren't, I would go Tyler Bay if he's still on the board. I'm not even sure if Tyler Bay is on the board, but if he is on the board, I would 100% go with Tyler Bay. I mean, Tyler Bay's a 6'7", like small forward / forward who can defend the 1-4. I mean, he shoots the 3 ball very well. He spaces the 4. That's exactly what the Knicks need. I'm just very curious to see what moves the Knicks are going to make after the draft with Mitch's future, Obi Toppin. That's what's concerning me about everything. I mean, I feel like we'll get more clarity, and the Knicks probably released a statement already that I need to read, but I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the future. But we got, I mean, this is crazy. Who do you guys want to pick? Comment down below who you guys want the Knicks to pick. Wow, I'm like shaking right now. I'm like shaking. Leandro Bolomaro, he'd be a good pick, but I kind of want players who can shoot, especially for the Knicks. And this is I wouldn't say it's our final pick because I think we're going to buy a second round pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if we even trade this pick if some team's looking for it. I think that might be why it's taking us so long to submit the pick, but or we're probably like listening to offers or something. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just select Tyrell Terry. I think that's the guy that we need to select. If we go after someone like Trey Jones, I'm gonna be upset. Or even if we go after a guy like Nico Mannion. He was pretty high on my board, but he fell significantly. Yeah, we need a shooter, 100%. We need a shooter, but more importantly, I don't think we can take a guard who can't shoot. There's a lot of talented guards who can't shoot at this position in the draft. And I think we can't get we can't look at their talent and be like, get blinded by their talent. Be like, oh my god, RJ Hampton's so good. He'd be a great talent to put next to RJ, but in all reality, that doesn't work because he still needs to fix his shot and stuff. So, 100% agree with you that we need a shooter. And I mean, we saw Aaron Nesmith went off the board pretty early. I mean, he's just like a spot up shooter. He's not really much more than that, and he struggles on defense. I don't know how I feel about that, but There are a lot of other good shooters, like Jameis Ramsey. I wouldn't be upset. I think he's a pretty good shooter. I mean, his free throw percentages are a little bit sus, but he shot like 45% from 3-point range in a stretch of games that he looked very impressive, and he shot, I think, like in the high 30s, low 40s overall. And he's like a monster. He's like 6'4", 200 pounds. Wouldn't be upset with him at all. And then outside of that, I don't know. I'm not okay with taking Jaden McDaniels now that we have Obi. Reggie Perry, he's a little bit, that'd be a reach. We probably could have gotten him at 37 or 38 if we kept that pick. But yeah, I mean, Tyrell Terry's the man. I'm going to keep saying it. I don't know how many times I need to say it. The Knicks have done a decent amount of research on Tyrell Terry too, which makes me think that the Knicks could take Tyrell Terry. And the pick is in. I don't know if this pick is being traded or not. We'll see. But hopefully it's Tyrell Terry. Hopefully it's Tyrell Terry. I'm praying. I'm praying. I'm praying. Please be Tyrell Terry. Please be Tyrell Terry. Please. I don't know why they're not announcing the pick. Like, I'm tempted to go on Twitter and check Woj real quick. But also I want to, like, see the chat and everything right now. But holy crap. Holy crap. This is getting intense. So, Tyrell Terry. I would say Tyrell Terry's tier 1. Tier 2, I'd say Desmond Bane, Tyler Bay, Jameis Ramsey, and then tier 3, I would say RJ Hampton, Leandro Bolomaro, and like Jaden McDaniels and Nico Mannion and all those. I'm silver selecting though. I'm silver selecting. Holy fuck, they took Leandro Bolomaro. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, he's a talented player. He's number 27, or he's number 24 on my board, so it's not a reach pick, but he's not really a shooter. He's like a playmaking guard type player who I mean, here. He's a 6'7" guard who can handle the ball and has the playmaking skills to play point guard. So we're kind of adding another playmaker to the team. But more importantly, the reason why he's going so high in the draft is because the Knicks are really big on I feel like they're really big on foreign players this year, especially with all the... I mean, I don't know why they take Leandro Bolomaro, if I'm being honest. I just made that up that they're big on foreign players. I'm kind of shocked because he's not a shooter. He's not a shooter at all. He's a good talent, and if we had shooters on the team, I'd be completely okay with it. But when Tyrell Terry is staring you in the face, like, why wouldn't you take Tyrell Terry? Like, what's good with this? I don't understand. We really didn't take Tyrell Terry, man. Oh, that's gonna keep me up at night. Wow. We took Leandro Bolomaro. He did play for Barcelona, which is, I think, like the best team in the best league, or Real Madrid, one of the two. But he played in the same league as Luka Doncic, and he averaged like, I think like, he averaged minutes. I don't know if he averaged really any points. I think he averaged like 2 points or so, but this is a big swing for the fences for the Knicks, which I'm happy about. But the thing is, if they hit, then you got basically a near replica of RJ on the other side of the wall. Like, you got RJ on one side, then you got Leandro Bolomaro on the other side, who are, they don't look anything alike, but their games are very similar, which is confusing. I don't know if the Knicks, And then obviously it looks like the Knicks are planning on going after Fred VanVleet in free agency, which is not my ideal option. A team's going to get a steal with Tyrell Terry. I think the Bucks probably just rush to select Tyrell Terry because he's so good. But, man, what do you guys have to say about it? What do you guys have to say? Anything? Wow, that was rough. Wow, Tyrell Terry, man. He's on the board. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it to me. I'll keep you guys updated, but the reason I haven't been uploading recently is because I have tennis elbow and I can't really edit or do anything, so I tried out this live streaming thing, see how it goes, and yeah, if you guys enjoyed, thank you. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys coming out, and I appreciate all of you guys, and there's still more action with the Knicks, though, so I wouldn't stop watching the draft, but I've been on for a while, so yeah, I'm out, and peace.